Well, in a world where many things are changing day and night, from our cultures to traditions, things changing from the way how we speak, the languages we speak, and people changing to other languages, changes in the way we dress, you can see here today. A lot of things are changing every day and night, and that is things to do with our cultures, that some of the things, new things that are coming in, are making us to forget who we are, what we are, and where we come from, especially we the Africans. It is a Friday, 25th January 2025, and my name is Jacob Junior Mugesi, but you can call me JJ, and this is the special chat with JJ. Now, today I happen to be having two good people on the show, and one is a lady and the other is a gent, and of course I want them to introduce themselves to you. We have two genders in the studio. I hope President Trump knows that better. Maybe you can introduce yourselves.
I'm called Sadia Abdurrahman. I'm a student residing in Kampala, Uganda. I'm currently pursuing a diploma accounting at YMCA.
Wow.
I'm called Abdafid Mustaf. Actually, I'm also a student of Kampala International University, and I'm a person with a big history of introduction, but I will just say that I'm a Pan-African.
Well, so these are our two colleagues, of course. They're from Somalia and for us we say Uganda is the pearl of Africa. Somalia is the land of
The lions of Africa.
lioness.
The lion.
Lion.
Yes.
Of Africa.
Yes, actually.
So you can see.
It is not a name that I've just generated, but it is a name that I've ever been there.
Wow.
If you look at the history that they have.
So we can now today we are having a fusion of the pearl of Africa and the lion of Africa, and we want to see if the two fuse, if the two come together, what can they do for African unity. Now today we want to discuss something to do with how culture exchange and traditions act as big agents of African unity or Pan-Africanism. And I want us to represent ourselves so well. I want to begin with you. How do you think interchanging of our cultures, for example, the Somalis and the Sudanese coming together, the Ugandans, can really contribute to the African unity?
Well, as Africans, we consist of many countries,
Yeah.
and each country has its own culture and tradition. So I believe that when we come together and unite, we can learn from each other, and we can also improve some of the cultures. Also show the world that Africa is united and doesn't need anyone else, provided that it has, now as we know, Africa has a lot of mineral resources.
Yeah, true.
Africa has a lot of things and has a lot of people compared to other continents.
Yeah, true.
But still, despite it being a continent, it's the way it behaves. It's not like I want it to be as a country, not a continent, where we have one flag, where we have one president, where we have one common culture and tradition.
Wow. So from what she's saying, that she wants to live in a continent that is not taken as just a mere continent, but as one country, not having these countries, independent countries, Kenya, Uganda, and so forth. Can you pick it up from there? How do you think the fusion of our cultures, different, all the various cultures, bring together unity as one Africa?
Actually, it is. What is true is that when we are talking about development, it is not only it does not only need for you to invest in big things. At first, it starts from the individual. It is an individual responsibility. Like, for example, you are from Uganda, I'm from Somalia. We are from the same continent. We are supposed to interchange. It is us that it starts from. We are supposed to interchange the culture that I do have. You are supposed to learn my culture, and I'm supposed to learn some of your cultures. And again, development is on three things. It is the economic, the social, and what? The political.
Yeah.
For us to do all that, we need something that can unite us, for us to make it very simple for us. The first thing that we need is the language. For us, when we have the same language that the person from Uganda, the person from Somalia, the one from Rwanda, the one from Congo can speak and they can understand all, I believe that there could be some development in the politics and there could be be some development in the what? Social development, and there's also be a political development. So I believe if we invest in one language, if we invest bringing one language for all Africans, there is a way that we can remove a lot of barriers that we do have now.
Well, talking of the language as an engine for African unity, we all know that we speak different languages. Almost each one of us here in our country, we are representing a certain official language that differs from the one each one of us speaks. But on the set here, we are all speaking English. Can you talk about how this language issue here has tried so much to hinder what the would-be development or the would-be unity that each one of us here yearns for? Because you said she's a Pan-African, naturally I'm a Pan-African. So what's that particular thing that you feel about that language has really tried as much to hinder when it comes to development?
Actually, most of the time we talk about unification of Africa. Africa has different countries. We always talk about unification. As she talked even about, she said that I want to see Africa being serving
One
as a
country
country.
with one flag.
Yes, everything as one. But before we do that, we have some problems in each and every country. Inside it, some of the problems that we do have inside of a country, I'm not talking about the whole Africa. Inside of a country, the problems that we do have is that people are not united. You can find in a country, in an African country, these people are not united. They don't have the same ambition. They don't have the same target. They don't have the same goal. So I'm asking myself, what doubts me to get a unification for Africa is that if a country itself, just a country, cannot unify its people, how are we expecting to unify the whole
By
Africa?
the way, how many tribes do you have in Somalia?
We have so many.
Around estimate?
More than 100.
Ash!
Yes, but they serve as sub-clans, not the major ones.
Okay, yes, there could be clans, but now
We do have only one language. Others are dialects. But I can assure you that the person, the Somali that comes from the west, the south, the north, and the east, all of them, if they come together, they can speak at one language and they can never fail to understand each other.
Well, on that same point, I want Sadia. Yeah, Sadia, on still there are many of them.
Yeah.
That one common language that
We have an official language which is English.
Yeah.
It's the official language.
let alone English. Like as Ugandans, you
No,
have
they
one
don't have.
language that you can, when you come from east, west, north, you come together. And
I must say that we have English everybody, that's almost everyone speaks English. But then the next language there is Luganda.
So
At
how
least
does
have one language in Somalia? Should we say countries like Uganda, like Kenya, that have a number of tribes and languages copy the same? We feel that will enable them unify.
not only in Kenya, not only in Uganda, in all African countries.
I want you to tell us what do you think Uganda or other countries like Uganda, Kenya, and maybe even Sudan and other countries in Africa can copy from the language, the fact that Somalia has only one language that has enabled you in one way or the other have that spirit of solidarity and unity as a nation, regardless of what is happening there now?
Actually, the challenges are more. The challenges that we are having in Somalia is more. But despite the challenges, we have that opportunity that we can utilize, which is the unity that we have in terms of the language. All the challenges that we have, we are able to come together from any side of Somalia, any direction of Somalia. We can come together and we can talk about the good of our country. Same as that, that's what I am advocating for, is for us to have this one same language for all of Africa. If we have one same language for all of Africa, I have said that we can come and talk about the good of Africa in a way that all of us can understand each other. Yeah.
Okay, so apart from the language, which other traditions or norms or beliefs can other countries copy from Somalia that you feel if they copy them from you people, maybe the unification of Africa can be not just a dream but a reality that can come to pass?
There are many traditions and cultures,
Mm.
but apart from the traditions and cultures,
Apart from the language, yeah.
we have that we have that uniqueness of having one religion.
Religion.
We have the same beliefs, we have the same faith and religion. Where we all now, when we all come from different areas and we come together, and you tell me that this is right, I know that this is the way it is. I don't oppose you that I have a different belief or faith.
Okay.
So apart from the language, we have that uniqueness of the religion, where we are all the same and we all have the same faith and beliefs.
So are you trying to say that when it comes to other maybe traditions, like when it comes like to marriage and so forth, it's the same?
Yeah.
It's the same in the whole country?
Whether marriage, whether what, we all have that one thing. All of it is the same.
Okay. Well,
if you can rephrase that question, do you mean that all Somalis that are from different directions of Somalia can marry each other? Is that what you mean?
yes, because
Yes, actually they do marry. If you are from West, you
because
can.
because why I was asking that, why I wanted to know, because you said in terms of language you speak the same language. Then I was like, how about other traditions when it comes like to other practices like marriage, introductions? Because a country like Uganda, we have many tribes. The way the Baganda hold their weddings and introductions is not the same way the Basoga do it.
That is
Not the same way other tribes in the country do it.
No, even in Somalia it is like that. They are different people that live in different areas of the country, but they do have somehow. I don't want to say it that they are totally different. They are not totally different, but there is a bit difference between them. Like
now she talked of the religion. We all know that most of the Pan-Africanists, and I think I should be one of those people that do not so much advocate for religion to thrive in a unified Africa. And of course, it is one of the reasons why the whole thing of unification looks like a very big dream that cannot be achieved, because there is a way religion tries to bring us behind. I'm talking to a Muslim brother, but I'm a Christian. So our religious beliefs define, we end up not freely interacting and coming to a point of agreement.
No, I don't believe that a religion can be an obstacle, because a religion is a belief that someone has.
Yeah.
You can get some sort of unification between you and the other person
By
when you still have your what? Your faith. When you still have your what? Your belief. I don't think that a religion serves as an obstacle for us to make a unification of Africa, or let us say in a specific country of Africa. So let us not just keep saying that a religion is making us different. There is no obstacle that a religion is bringing, one. Second, I do believe that there are a lot of things that we should do before the religion.
okay.
One is that, my father used to say, if you want to get a good population, you should first start from the houses. When a house, like the parent, when a parent starts to make his children good, to take him through the good, to make them to be good, at the moment they come out of the house and they be part of the population,
They're already well groomed.
they are, yes. So that means there will be a population which is well
Mannered than the one.
yes, yes. So that's what I am saying. That's why I'm saying, no matter
The religion.
if this person has this religion or has this religion, if we need to unify Africa, or if we need to unify a country, there are a lot of other ways that we can do. That was the first one that I was telling you, and there are a lot that can be done.
Okay, I know you've, whether you've stayed in Uganda for long or not, I'm sure that's something you've learned from this country. What are those things that all those traditions that you've learned from Uganda that you feel are very important if we are to really come to a point of agreement as different countries? I want to begin with you.
have different cultures.
Yeah.
But now we live in Kampala, not one.
Yeah.
Sorry. So the Baganda has a culture where they respect their elders.
Oh, true.
So although I don't like that thing of kneeling down, but it's a symbol of respect.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a symbol of respect.
Yeah, true.
So like to imitate that one, we can have one symbol like we use it for respect, another symbol for what. The Baganda people use that symbol. So we cannot use the same one, but when we come like Africa as one nation, as one country after that, we can have that thing which is always separates us from others.
Okay. So is there another thing that you feel you've learned from Uganda that maybe can be used?
Actually, I've learned a lot from Uganda, but according to the topic that we are on top of it now, is about the culture.
Yes.
One, what I've learned from Uganda, and I do like other countries of Africa to learn from, is about, Africa has a problem of nepotism, that things of
True,
tribalism, all those things. What I have found out is that the magnitude that Uganda has, the magnitude of tribalism, nepotism is less according to some other African countries. Yeah, it is very, very, very rare for you to see people having that things of nepotism in big opportunistic places. The opportunities that are there in the country, they are somehow, according to my observation, I have found out that it is a bit fair for all people. So what I would like to advise all the other countries is that, or what I should advise other countries to learn from Uganda is that unification of people, of giving them same opportunities at all time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were talking of she was talking of kneeling down, because here in Uganda, even the men do kneel down before the elders. Do you have such traditions in your land that seem to be weird, yet they carry very big meaning?
Actually, in Somalia, I did not yet see one, but rather there are some that are good, and I would like to also these other African countries to learn from us. First one, for us, we don't kneel down because we believe that all human beings are on the same level.
Which is true.
Yes, you cannot act yourself as you are in a less manner than this person.
But okay, before you continue, are you trying to say that somebody kneeling down is a sign that you're below somebody else?
That is what we do believe. And even if we are talking about the religion that we have, the Islam, it never allows you to do so. Yeah. So there is that respect God gave you that you should keep it. This is a human, I'm also a human. You are a human and I'm also a human. So we should have the same credibility. I should not I should not I should not act myself, I should not do myself as I am a bit inferior than you.
Okay.
So the one culture that I do like from my cultures is when you meet with an old person, you first greet them in hand and you kiss their hand.
You kiss their hand?
You kiss their hand.
Okay.
That is a bit more respectful than the one that you are kneeling down for someone.
Okay.
If you kneel down for someone, that means that person is not respecting you. You are a bit lower than that person.
Okay. Anyway, our viewer will tell us what they think about.
Yes, but
what they think about that thing, because I know majority of the people do it as a sign of respect. But away from that, in Uganda we have very many occasions or functions that we do. They could be cultural occasions that we hold and they bring people together. I will talk of Okwanjula. Okwanjula is like introduction. In many tribes they do that, and in most cases it brings people
introduction
together.
Of marriage or what?
Yeah, marriage introductions. We have you can talk of weddings. Then we also have concerts, music concerts that people hold. For example, there is a common, mostly known concert that happens every year here, especially in Uganda. It's called the Enkuka. Yeah, Nkuka brings,
Meaning
it's actually
what?
organized by, I don't know what it means, but it's always carried out by, it's spearheaded by the Uganda Kingdom, yeah. So even the Kabaka actually attends it. It happens every 31st of December. So people think it's only for the Baganda, but you find even the Basoga, the Acholi, they're going there because the artists who present
They're
there are
from
not
there,
only
so-
Baganda.
yes, they are
They
also
come from all over the country. They also have such activities or functions in Somalia that you feel if they're also embraced can in one way bring together these people.
Actually, you have talked about the introduction, and the introduction is something that is all over the world. I don't want to say that it is all only in Africa, but it is all over the world. Because when you want to marry someone's daughter, they should first know where you are from, your people, because you can be.
But now for us we do it in a traditional way because you have to you take
How do you do it?
animals.
Yeah.
That unique thing that you do different from other African countries.
No, we don't know what other. I don't know what other African countries do, but at least I know for a few people that
Okay,
I
just
know.
tell us how you do it.
Of course, it varies basing on the tribe.
Okay.
But now for my tribe, we take cows, you take other animals like the goats, and then you sometimes the family of the woman or the girl, the bride, they tell you what they want.
So introduction and bride price are different. If you take the cows
Now, during introduction, you can take the bride price on the day of the introduction, or you may decide to take it on the same day, basing on your agreement with the parents of the bridegroom. I mean, of the bride. So it depends on the agreement. However, they use this as an opportunity for the other family and this family to come together. Do you think we should carry on with such functions to ensure that the unification is a valid dream?
Actually, that one, I think if we try to say that we should unify it, we mean that we shall get one specific culture from one specific tribe, isn't it?
We may necessarily not have one deciding that now this is the culture we are going with.
Yes.
But then, yes, it can be there, but can we use such functions as an opportunity for us to preach the message of hope, the message of unity, the message of oneness, the message of togetherness?
Actually, it can also
message
serve.
of peace.
Yes. It's in that position with millions of dollars for him to become the president of that certain country. So someone invested millions of dollars in that country for him just to be the president of that country, to become the president of that country. What are you expecting back from him? So politics is like a business that a person should invest in whenever he sets in that position. They use it as somewhere that they should get their money refunded. Actually, they do look for a revenue even, not even a refund just. So that's why I do always say that if someone wants to get rich in a simple way, let him be a politician. Yeah.
Okay, so you were talking about ladies beginning with their own homes to preach this gospel. Do you think every woman is ready to do that?
always majority is
The majority.
is better than minority.
Okay.
If these few ones don't want, that's aside. But if the majority of us accept and come together and decide on that aspect of preaching and starting from our own home, I believe that we are going to win.
But before that, they do even need that's why I was saying there are a lot of other factors than religion. When we are talking about the religion, there are a lot of other factors that can contribute to the well-being and unification of Africa. Number one is the awareness. If we start awareness, now you have asked a question about, do you think that there is a way that mothers can take part of the unification of Africa? Yes.
Yeah, because I was taking it back to tradition, because
yes.
since we are on culture,
Yes.
how we can use that culture.
People take actions. Every day people do actions. But it is better when someone is doing an action that is aware of the consequences or the outcome that it will have. So when we tell them and create awareness about the unification of Africa from school, from universities, from places of work, from everywhere, that there is a campaign that we are trying to unify Africa, I believe that there will be some sense of work that will be that will work for us. Yeah.
Well, so as we end this show, we've listened and heard a lot from our colleagues here on their arguments on how best we can take advantage of our cultures and the traditions to ensure that we promote the African unity. The United States of America has it has actually 50 states. It's a combination of 50 states that make the United States of America. And in Africa, we have over 54. There are 54 recognized countries. And that's just a difference of 4 countries. Yeah. So we really see unification is a dream that can, of course, be brought to reality. However, those USA also has people that had their own differences in traditions and cultures. The same way we also have here in Africa. So whatever we have discussed here on how we can take advantage of cultures and traditions, history has shown us that is very possible. Can we take on what we've just discussed here, or even beyond what we've discussed, to ensure that we take advantage of the cultures and traditions that we have to ensure that unification is a reality? So as we end this show, maybe your last shot on what you think, or one takeaway for yourself that you feel this one has to be the biggest hit that somebody has to adopt. I begin with you.
For me, I would have said it is the language that we should promote. Africa, if it gets one language, one major language that they do all speak, I believe that there is a way that people can communicate. You know, Somalia has investors, Somalia has businessmen. Uganda has investors, they also have businessmen. So what I do mean, when they get a language that can unify them, there is a way that they can create some connection between them. So I believe it is the language that we should promote, we as Africans, as the youth that are now expecting to be the leaders of Africa. I do believe, and if I get into a position that I can that my word can work in Africa, I would have suggested that we come up with one language that unifies us.
Well, that is more stuff now. Sadia, what do you think?
He talked of a language, and we can't all agree on one thing before we are united. As we all know, the African Union's Agenda 2063 aims in making Africa a prosperous, peaceful, and integrated continent. And to achieve this, we need unity. Unity is the only crucial way to achieve this vision. So we can't implement on that factor of language coming together before we are united. So unity is the key issue of all success in Africa.
Well, you know, I'll listen to a song by Lucky Dube where I say that different colors, one people, but here in Africa we are almost the same color. We've seen many people, especially the blacks in America, calling themselves Black Americans, though we've not seen any white here in Africa calling themselves White Africans. You can see the difference. I don't know whether it is consciousness or something that we are not proud of. We are not proud. We are proud. Not proud to be Africans, not proud to be blacks. So we call ourselves Black Americans. But when the Americans come here, they can't call them themselves White Africans. How about we change that scenario and have it vice versa? At least we should be proud of who we are, and at least make sure at the end of the day we are fighting for that same goal. We know the African unity, somebody will say it has delayed, it has started back years, those years back, but we are still talking about it. Yes, we shall continue talking about it until we ourselves realize that it's an individual responsibility that this thing will have to come true. It is your responsibility, it is her responsibility, it is my responsibility, it is our responsibility, it is your responsibility out there. And I hope from whatever we've discussed here, you pick a leaf from there. I shout out to all of you that take your time, put in your data to watch this particular show. And I hope next time we meet here, we shall have a lot to discuss. This has been the special chat with Jacob Jr. and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.